Happy Friday, Pirate Nation. We are back in studio. We're super excited. It's been a great week here at Crandall High School. Sorry that we did not have a video last week, but this week we are back in studio to honor and recognize some great students. I have with me Miss Alyssa A-Rod Rodriguez, and a senior, by the way, and I have Henry Tipton, a freshman. So they think they're here to answer some questions, but what we're really here to tell them is that they are the student of the month. So you guys are both the student of the month for upperclassmen seniors. So congratulations. You got a sign to put in your yards for being student of the month. The teacher said you guys are doing a great job. They are excited to have you in class, that you guys are killing it. You guys are being the example pirates for all of our other students. So we're proud of you. We're thankful to recognize you. And so go home, put this in your yard, and show everybody how awesome you are. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys, we are always excited to recognize our students anytime we can. We have over 2,300 students, so we are huge, and so I'd love to be able to recognize hundreds all the time because we do have a lot of great students happening. I know very often that things happen on social media and we see all the negative things that are happening in schools, but these guys that we just recognized today and the students that we have in this building really, for the most part, are great examples of students that represent our state, represent our community. So thank you guys for all you guys are doing at home. Continue to support them in their academic endeavors and continue to create and teach character in them. We're going to talk a little bit more about that here in just a second. But a few little updates. We are 1 week away from Thanksgiving break after this. We're getting ready on that downhill slide. That Thanksgiving break, the great thing about that is an opportunity for students to catch up, rest and rejuvenate. For a lot of our teachers, that's their catch-up time as well. I know for me, I will take that week off to get my own self caught up, because when we get back from Thanksgiving break, we fly to Christmas, and Christmas marks the end of our semester. So it's very important that you guys make sure you stay on top of your students' grades, continue to communicate with our staff and our teachers in order to make sure that your students' grades are going in. Now, I do want to update you guys on a couple of things or kind of help you guys out. The most important thing is if you have a question about your student's grade, start with your teachers first. And then make sure you're asking them questions and getting any kind of communication. If you don't feel like the communication is getting through to them or they're not understanding what you're saying, don't hesitate to set up a parent conference or even a parent phone call. I know that for me, I send as few emails as possible because I would much rather go talk to students or talk to staff, because I know the communication through email is sometimes not read or received the way I intend it to. So please don't hesitate to have those conference calls and come up and visit us. Also, guys, as we continue to work through, I want you to understand this. We know that students get behind. We know that they have to do makeup work. They miss work because they're absent. They miss work just because it's late or whatever. Life happens. But what I will tell you is that our grading policy basically states that every grade, once a week, we'll have a daily grade in, and about every 3 weeks, it just depends, give or take, we'll have a test grade in. But it doesn't specifically state anything about makeup work. So if a student didn't turn in an assignment for whatever reason, and they turn it in on Wednesday, it may not be graded until the following Monday, or it may not get into the grade book right away. That's not an immediate turnaround on that, because they are trying to stay on top of the current grades first, and then they do the makeup. Now, what I have instructed the staff is to ensure that they don't sit on those grades for very long. We want our students to be encouraged and see their grades improve every single day. So it should only take a couple of days to get that makeup work turned in, but sometimes things happen. But I just wanted to guys give you a heads up that if it doesn't get in there right away, just shoot an email and say, hey, I just wanted to make sure that my student did in fact turn in the work and that you have it, and just kind of when do we expect that grade come out, okay? Makeup work kind of falls in its own little category. All right, speaking of grades, let's talk about exams for a second. So as we roll into the end of the semester, that means it's semester exam times. For the first time in a long time, all students will be taking exams. There will be no exemptions this year. We've talked about that to the students. We've put that out. And the biggest reason is we want to make sure our students are college ready. And even if they're not going to college, we want to make sure our students are ready to take comprehensive exams, because even if I'm going to be a mechanic and I want to get my ASE certification, I got to take a test. All these different jobs nowadays, whether you're college degreed or you're industry certified, it requires a certification exam that's comprehensive. So we don't do enough of that in public education, so we want to do better. And so part of that is, I know, much to a lot of chagrin, we want to make sure that our students are getting the opportunity to take comprehensive exams other than just the STAR test. So all students will take the exams. It's important that they get prepared for those exams because it's going to cover material from August all the way up until December. And it is a percentage of their grade, their final grade for the semester. So please make sure your students are aware of that and they're preparing for that. We also have a attendance incentives for them. And so if they would have been exempt on the old platform, we're going to allow them to have a free dress week the last week before Christmas break. So that is something that we're excited to offer them, even if they continue to come to school, because attendance does matter, guys, and we need them to be here every single day. When they're lost, that's instruction loss. So please continue to send your students every single day. Overall, like I said, it's been a great week. We are having some turbulence, so to speak, with some of our underclassmen. So if you have a freshman or primarily freshman right now, they're still getting adjusted to the high school life. And I know that high school life is way different than middle school life, but I need you to do me a favor, freshman parents. And I said this last year, and I'll say this probably every year that we have freshmen, make sure you're teaching your students to start getting on that high school board, start maturing and figuring out that, hey, being on class on time matters. Making sure you go to every class matters. Doing the work matters. Following all the directions matters. You know, we had some students with some testing issues that came up today where they had cell phones when they shouldn't have had cell phones. And guys, the thing that's important about understanding that is that when stuff like that happens, we have to report that to the state. If a student gets caught with a cell phone during testing, then it's a chance that their test is invalidated, meaning that they'll have to retake that test in the summertime. And so we don't want that to happen for them. So we need to make sure we're following all the rules and regulations that were put out in force. So again, guys, thank you for everything you guys do. It has really been a great year. It's been fast and furious. It's been really busy this year, but keep driving at home, keep pushing those kids, keep staying connected and staying informed. And again, help support your kids. Thank you for the support of our campus at all times. And if you have anything or you need anything, make sure you're reaching out to your teachers, staff, anybody that you need, and we'll take care of you. Again, thank you for everything you do. Enjoy this cool weather that's coming in and have a great break. Now, here are the announcements.